All right, what is up, my friends?
Inconceivable!
Oh my God. Okay. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. They said they were banning Euro. We knew this already from the secret layer drop, as what offline us last week, and we knew that Euro is going to be hitting the bricks for a lot of the formats. What we didn't know is all of this was going to happen too. So let's just start breaking it down one by one. All right, we'll start with historic. All right, so Omnath was on the suspended list, meaning basically the watch list. It's gotten banned. Sure. Omnath sucks. That's fine. I don't have a problem with this or any. I don't have any comments on this, honestly, either. Realistically, like, this card's just stupid. They've printed a lot of really stupid cards in the last year or two that probably should never been printed. So I don't really mind just like the systematic erasure of them, like Euro, Oko, and so on and so forth. Um, that's fine. So now it's gone for good. It was suspended. Sure. Big whammy here, of course. Euro is now banned in historic. It's funny, people were saying a lot that like the Assault decks weren't even that good, but they were clearly one of the best decks. And even though maybe they were targeted or whatever, like Euro is just a really stupid Magic card. Obviously it's like that's not like a big hot take statement. No card should be Baneslayer Angel, Muldrifter, and Bloodghast all at the same time. All right? Your cards can be one of those three things, but not all three at once. Baneslayer, you can be a big, powerful, game-swinging threat, but that threat shouldn't really like draw cards or be good card advantage, nor should it be like durable or recursive, right? So that's a problem. That's strike number one. Muldrifter, you can have your card draw cards and be very resource intensive, but it should be weak. It should be a 2/2 or a 3/3 or some sort of small. You're exchanging card draw for a body, right? Or Bloodghast, recursive cards. Recursive cards are fun. They're really cool, but they shouldn't be game-breaking threats. It should be some sort of like niche kind of like Bloodghasty, Gravecrawler, or something like that. And Euro just does it all. It's just a heinously bad design. Gaining life. This card should never have gained life. Ramp's already really good anyway. Just like the reasons why Euro is being banned don't need to be discussed here. All right. It's been banned in everything basically, which is good. If I never saw Euro again, it would be too soon. So that's fine. The big thing about this historic announcement here is less of what's on it and more what's not on it. So no card from Sacrifice, which has been one of the best decks in historic for a long time in various forms, and no cards from Goblins, no Muxus. I think seeing like Claim the Firstborn, or like some card from Mayhem Devil, some card from Sacrifice being banned, and then Muxus being banned would have been pretty like expected for the most part. So a little scary here, but Sacrifice is still going to be really good. And then Goblin's supposed to be really good as well. So that's kind of the weird one here for historic. The Sacrifice deck is really good, and the Sacrifice deck is really good at pressuring creature decks of any kind. It's so hard to play creatures against Claim the Firstborn and Mayhem Devil and all those cards. So we'll see what happens. Sacrifice does keep Goblins in check a little bit, but now with Euro, one of the major pillars of the format gone, we'll see how it shifts, but we'll see. We'll see. Next up is Pioneer. Is Pioneer still a format? Really? I'm getting word that Pioneer is still a format, apparently. So Pioneer's here, and they're banning effectively four cards, right? Because Balustrade Spy and Undercity Informer are basically the same card. So Oops All Spells, very good in Pioneer. I played it in a cool stuff video, easily 5-0'd a month or two ago. I haven't touched Pioneer since then. That was my first time playing Pioneer in a long time, so I'm not into Pioneer at all. But banning Teferi in any format seems very reasonable to me. Another just totally obnoxious card. And then banning Euro, also very reasonable as well. It's also a big change to Pioneer. We'll get to later as well in this announcement. But sure. So Euro, Teferi gone. Banning Oops All Spells, totally fine. I think that I love Pioneer at first, but it became this combo hellscape. I just stopped caring completely. And then people are saying in chat, like, I thought Pioneer died because of Heliod combo and Inverter combo. No, they actually banned those cards like 8 months too late. It's still a format, but no one really cares about it anymore. Not nobody, but it's lost a lot of its luster because they ran into the ground basically. But this certainly seems very good for it. Reclamation's also banned. Sure, I guess, but I don't know what the metagame is about Pioneer right now. I play Pioneer, so This all looks reasonable to me. Now to the biggest of whammies. Modern. Oh my god, they've banned a lot of cards here. So Euro being banned in Modern, sure, that's fine. People were saying they actually liked Euro in Modern because it brought fairness back to the format in a format where it's been, a lot of like linear broken stuff for a long time. But all those stupid Euro piles were really, really awful. Just like the standard 4-color Euro, Mystic Sanctuary, Field of the Dead, Ren and 6, Teferi, whatever pile of cards. It's pretty obnoxious. It's just like the design mistakes of 2021 or 2020 and 2019 deck. That's hella lame. So I'm pretty sad, pretty happy that Euro is gone. But a lot of other things are gone here too. So Field of the Dead is gone. Again, Field of the Dead was a huge part of those like piley, rampy kind of cards. This card has just been legendary. They just screwed up, honestly. Maybe it's even too good as legendary in Modern. I don't even know. It's usually played like a 1 or 2 of. But Field of the Dead was really, really good. Our Promise, just Euro by itself. I'd be interested to see how good Field would be without Euro. This is kind of like a double whammy punch on a spot where maybe one punch would have done the job. But banning Field of the Dead is I don't know. I'm a little like, I'm not sure on this one. I kind of would have liked to have seen Field without Euro being legal to see if that was good. They also banned Mystic Sanctuary, and this one I'm actually totally for. This is one of the most obnoxious things in Modern. This card is just another card where it's just like, why would they print this card? It's just really, really stupid and obnoxious. Like, it's obviously broken with fetch lands. It's not like a huge part of the metagame or anything, but like the decks that play it are very good. It's just a very, very good, very, very easy thing to do in your blue deck. That I'm very happy to see just gone, honestly. So Sanctuary being gone, I'm pretty happy with that. Field, I'm not sure, we'll see. Then we got the big whammy here. What did Simian Spirit Guide ever do to you? Right? Spirit Guide wasn't really doing anything crazy at the moment, right? Like, but it also is like a fundamentally kind of broken card. Typically, this card is doing unfun things. We're casting Blood Moon on turn 1 or 2. We're facilitating stupid combos, like Oops All Spells or Charbelchery, whatever. This is a big change, and people in chat seem very unhappy about this. And I get it. I understand. This has been a pillar in Modern for a really, really, really long time. And it is sort of like one of the unique elements that decks are built around, like Ad Nauseam or whatever. This is one of those things where it's kind of less a question of like, is this card broken, and more a question of like, what do we want our format to be? It's a little weird. Honestly. I'm not a huge fan of these like sweeping ban 9 cards at once things, because it's like a science experiment, right? You got to have your controls and your things you experiment on, where you change 1 or 2 things and see the results. But if you change too many things at once, you don't know what actually made what was the catalyst for it, So, regardless, though, Spirit Guide is, I don't know. I'm not sure where I fall on this one, honestly. This is the one where I'm most isolated variable. There you go. The one I'm most confused about. I'm not really sure what to do with this, and I kind of wish we would have waited on this to a different time. We'll see. This is a wait and see one. I'm not really upset about it, because personally, I think I don't enjoy decks that play Simian Spirit Guide. But that's the thing. That's the thing. So we'll leave this one as is. I'd like to hear comments on this one in chat and in the YouTube comments, all right? They also are banning Tibalt Trickery, and this one is a slam dunk for me. This card is just an egregious oversight of design. This would be a really fun, interesting card if it could only target your opponent's spells. Like, the point of this card is to be, how can we give red a counterspell? What can we do to make a counterspell feel red? And this card does that, right? It's pretty cool. So if you're playing a mono red aggro deck, you want to counter their wrath, and you don't care if I get a card draw spell. That's cool. That's kind of a fun idea. That's kind of a cool, that's a good design goal. That's a fun goal to have and a fun gameplay moment for sure. Casting Ugin on turn 2 by triggering your own spell because you London Mulligan to it is the stupidest thing of all time. Like, just ridiculously stupid. Why the hell would you ever have this card target your own spells? It's blatantly obvious. The internet figured it out in 60 seconds after the card was spoiled. Like, the interaction with Cascade's obvious. London Mulligan to a 0-drop is obvious. Just, you get the idea. Good riddance, no discussion necessary. This card should not have printed the way it was, and just getting rid of it is totally fine. Easy game. All right, so that's Modern. Modern is going to look very, very different. I haven't played Modern in 2 weeks because I have not wanted to deal with the Tibalt Cascade or Tibalt Trickery. We'll get to that. So Modern looks like it's playable again. Look for Mog Monday next week to be the Modern Pyre of Heroes deck. All right, so that's Modern. Huge changes. One of the biggest changes to Modern in a long time. Next up is Legacy. And we got some big ones here as well. So Arcum's Astrolabe. It's funny, when this card came out, I don't want to toot my own horn or nothing, but I was like, yo, this card's really, really good. And it was kind of like quiet in the spoiler, but this card just literally does everything. We've seen it banned in multiple formats already. I think it's the only place it's legal anymore is Legacy. You just can't have this sort of cheap material around. It's just too good. 1 mana to draw a card, get an artifact, get a permanent, fix your mana. Like it's just way too much. The idea, I'm really about the idea of this card because I love cards that are more than the sum of their parts. I love cards that are synergy pieces and like, you know, I like this card. Like Euro is kind of just obnoxious, right? It's just like the stupid 6/6. It wins you the game by itself, whatever. This is the kind of card where you're like, ooh, what can I do with this? Can I sacrifice the artifact to Shotgun Blast? Can I use it as a permanent for Smokestack? Can I use the card draw trigger my whatever? You know, like, so this card, the heart of Arcum's Astrolabe is in the right place. It's just too much for one card. It's just too much. And the problem is you can't really adequately cost this card because at 2 mana, it's Pentad Prism, or not Prophetic Prism. The exact same card, costs 2 generic, draws a card, makes a mana of any color, and that card is like not really good enough. It sees fringe play in standard or whatever, but it's like not like really good enough. This is the kind of card that needs to cost like 1.5, and they were trying to do that with Snow, but it's just too easy with fetch lands and stuff. It's just too easy. If fetch lands didn't exist, this card would probably be fine, realistically. But as usual, fetch lands is the problem. That's fine. That's fine. I think if this card filtered a Snow into any color, that would help. But I still think it'd be too good because you just have a Snow land already anyway. So it's a tough one. One of those spots where numbers just don't really work well enough. This card should probably cost 1.5, and you can't do that. So Astrolabe being banned. I haven't played much Legacy either, but all those all the 4-color piles of like in Modern and Legacy of just like Euro and Astrolabe and whatever, it's just like they're just obnoxious, and I'm very, very happy this card did not be there anymore. So it sucks. I kind of like the card, but sure. Next up is Dreadhorde Arcanist, and this card's apparently been tearing it up in Legacy. Not exactly sure why. It is obviously very good. Obviously casting Brainstorm returns is really, really good. I haven't played enough Legacy to have a good opinion on this card, unfortunately. As far as like it, you know, dominating the format or whatever. It obviously dies to Bolt and Push and Swords and everything. It's 2-drop with no haste. So it's like, all right. I mean, I feel like we could probably answer this card. This card like seems beatable. Like, you know, why this and not Dark Confidant kind of thing. But again, I've played enough Legacy to really have a solid, like firm. This card is way too good. But I know it's been seeing a lot of play. I get it. I'll defer to the Legacy metagame itself. Saying this card is too good, sure. I don't play enough Legacy to have a strong opinion on this card. I'll allow it. It's obviously very good. I get that part. But I'm saying as far as like being oppressively good, I guess results speak for themselves. And then of course, the last bastion of Oko, Thief of Crowns. Yeah. You know what? You know what I say to Oko? You know what I say to Oko?
Get off my plane.
Get out of here, Oko. I don't care what format it is. Just one of the worst designs of all the worst designs in the last 2 years. We all know why Oko's annoying. Insanely high loyalty, invalidates every card in play. Just like really, really obnoxious play experience. Makes playing all your cards feel awful because they're all just like very, very, very simple. It's a vintage with you. It's a vintage. Just an unbelievably stupid card. Should have obviously been +1, -1, -5. It wasn't. Hashtag WotC. We understand. There's no need for more discussion here. All right, Oko's dumb. Then in Vintage, they're gonna unban Lurrus. Okay, I don't play Vintage. I don't know what. I mean, it's obviously weird they ban the card because you don't ban cards in Vintage usually, but I know I was seeing a lot of play. I don't even know. I guess the companion rules changed. Sure. That's fair. Totally fair. So it was banned when the companion rule was the other way around. Right. Totally fine. Makes sense. Not a problem. So don't really care about that. What we do care about is this. We have a rules change. And I did call this last week. I said there's no way you'll still be able to cascade into Tibalt by the end of the month. All right. And Nostradamus here. I know, right? I'm a real genius. Stating the obvious. Rules change. Updating the rules for Cascade to address interactions with older formats. The rule being implemented on Magic Online, blah, 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 blah. New rule is as follows. Cascade is a... Oh, this is only upgrade to Cascade, not Valky. Okay, sure. Cascade is a triggered ability that functions only while a spell with Cascade is on a stack. Cascade means when you cast a spell, exile cards from the top of your library to exile a non-land card whose mana cost is less than that spell's mana cost. You may cast that spell without paying its mana cost if the converted mana cost is less than a spell's converted mana cost. So basically just making it very specifically, you cannot play the backside of Valky without... Or you just can't, because the cost is too high or whatever. If you have a Cascade card that costs 8, you can do it. But, so, all different than what I thought they would do. I figured they would just change the rules on double face cards to not allow you to play the back for free when you get to play the front for free. So the Immersion Ultimatum is still functional in Standard. Bring to Light is still functional in Pioneer, which is kind of a problem, honestly. That's been crushing Pioneer. So that's a little weird. It's also changed how Cascade works with adventure creatures. Interesting. And they have a whole write-up here. Sure. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's all fine. So that's the rules change. So I think that's definitely very, very reasonable. Obviously, we want to not be cascading into Valky on turn 3 every game, which is ridiculous. So Living End still works. Ancestral Vision still works. Things mostly work as expected. This is specifically just, for the most part, a change to only Valky. Because I don't think there are many double face cards that have a more expensive card on the back or have a major difference in cost. So that's this update. This is an insane update. Again, we're a little concerned with the lack of bans in Historic for Sacrifice or maybe even Goblins. They went way big here on Modern. We'll see how that pans out. That's all I got, I guess. So let me know your thoughts on YouTube. Let me in the comments. This is a crazy announcement. YouTube folks, like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out a ton. Take 10 seconds to support the video and support me as a content creator. And YouTube folks, I love you. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.